So I just got done watching The Family Plan and I actually really enjoyed it. I'm always a sucker for action movies. As usual, I'll tell you what I liked about the movie first and then save what I didn't like for the end. First thing I liked about this movie is I really liked the chemistry on screen between Mark Wahlberg and Michelle Monaghan. They both fit their characters pretty well. I'm just really glad that they worked so well on screen together. They were able to sell the whole typical husband and wife. But as the movie progressed, they still kept those same awesome dynamics together. It was pretty funny at times. I mean, there were some really funny lines by both Mark and Michelle that really worked well for this kind of movie. Another reason I liked this movie was I actually thought it was a really good balance of comedy / action. Sometimes movies like this can overwhelm you with too much action or too much comedy and kind of just take away from the whole point of the movie. The plot in this movie is pretty basic, pretty straightforward, it's very predictable, but there was still lots of great comedy and great action involved in this movie. Mainly I think the funniest comedy moments in the movie were between the main characters, Dan and Jess. Standard action in this movie, but it was still good, solid action. And then there was a couple serious moments in the movie where Mark Wahlberg's character, Dan, he had to open up to his family and tell them about his past life. You know, he has to get his family back. He wants to be more involved with his family and just the relationships that were being built upon between him and his wife, but also between him and his daughter and son, like, and how much they actually had in common and how they wish they could do more things together, and how his crazy enough as it is, this crazy road trip, all the stuff that happened in this movie actually brought them closer together as a family, and I just found that to be quite enjoyable. One of the first things I didn't like were, I love that Maggie Q was in this movie, she's a great actress, but her character, it kind of seemed like a pointless character, mainly put in there for a little more of a plot twist, a little more something to push the story along, something to add a little more to the story, but it seemed a little desperate, seemed a little last minute, kind of just lazy, let's throw it in there and see what happens. Also with the bad guy McCaffrey, the plot twist there with his character and his relationship to the main characters, I felt that was also lazy, didn't really have a point. It was just to make the story more interesting because, like I said, the story is very straightforward. But the plot twists were very unnecessary. The plot twists were just kind of dumb, honestly. I felt like the actor who was playing McCaffrey, delivering his lines were really bad. His line delivery was really almost monotone. He didn't really have a lot of energy, excitement, passion behind it. It was a very, very weak bad guy. I would have preferred Maggie Q to be the main villain because she's played a villain before and she's very good at it. Other than that, this movie, it's just a fun, kind of just turn your brain off action flick for the whole family. It is on Apple TV Plus right now, so I highly recommend if you're into movies like this, check it out as soon as you possibly can. So for the Family Plan, I'm going to give it a 6.5 out of 10 Mudflap. So remember, leave me a thumbs up and drop in the comments below. What is your favorite Mark Wahlberg movie? See you next time.